Hello Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something, to better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate for you, that's completely fine. Feel free to push them aside. You may want to revisit them at a later date or time. Sometimes tarot messages make more sense in the future. Let's see. Please do remember you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is, of course, optional advice, guidance, and energy check-in. That being said, let's set the attention, get you some messages that are practical, messages with clarity, things that will be helpful to you in the coming weeks or months. All right, Aquarius, let's do it. So bottom of your deck, let's check that, is the Five of Earth. All right, so fives are all about changes, changes and chaos perhaps, especially maybe with something to do with money. Let's look at that a little bit closer. Specifically money for travel or money for moving. We'll see if that feeds into the story at all, but that may be kind of a general theme that plays a part in this reading. So right smack in the middle of your spread, you have the sovereignty of water in this deck. That is the King of Water. So very strong fixed water energy, maintaining of emotions, right? It is a card associated with Scorpio, which is the transformer of the zodiac, right? They take things and transform it, through alchemy and I guess you could say magic into something useful and let the rest fall away, right? So it is a card very much associated with endings, but every ending is a new beginning, that old saying, right? So it's a transformative energy. So things in your life are in flux and transforming, but there is a need to maintain emotional intelligence, let's put it that way. I'm really focusing on sort of the idea of the roses and the flowers blooming through chaos, through changes, through transformation. Seeds are taking root, seeds are taking hold and starting to flourish and bloom, possibly in ways you didn't anticipate or imagine. But I think it's also saying if you are going through some like a heavy chapter, some major changes on the horizon, know that other parts of your life are going to be lush and beautiful and magical. So there is balance to this. It's not all dark, it's not all light. It's that beautiful combination of both. And of course, when I'm recording this, we're in Scorpio season, the very beginning of it, which, like you, Aquarius, is a fixed sign. It is a sign that is, approximately 90 degrees away. So in astrology, we would say that is a sign that kind of squares Aquarian energy. So those can be challenging energies to work with, but certainly not impossible. So let's see here. There might be more of a focus on your career, especially. Especially for my Aquarians rising too, that would make sense. There may be more focus on your reputation, your public standing, kind of 10th house issues in astrology. So something to do with your place in the world, your how you present yourself to the world and how other people see you, maybe going through some sort of transition or change. Maybe you have a new job title, maybe you're getting married and you're now associated with another person, that type of thing where your reputation is changing, and that might make you a little bit uneasy or uncomfortable to hear, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. In fact, I don't know why, but I'm getting this idea of you may be sort of late to the game, or there's some sort of change in, I'm going to say, status or reputation that you're not fully aware of because it's so second nature to you. It's just who you are, that you may be, striking out in a different area or putting time and energy into something, and people are already starting to recognize you as that thing without you fully even realizing it yourself. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone out there, but I actually see that as a very positive message. There could be more discussion. I'm going to say children are going to play a significant factor in your life in the coming month or two. And that's going to mean something different for everyone. There may be a closer connection to a child. There may be an issue regarding your child that demands or commands your attention more. There could be the talk of starting a family, adding another child to the mix. There may be births of nieces, nephews, little cousins, things of that sort. Children are coming very prominently, and possibly your association with them. So that could also be regarding a career. Maybe you work in pediatrics, maybe you work with children, maybe you're a teacher, et cetera, et cetera. And I would challenge you to sort of view that in such a way where there's a very open understanding. And I guess what I mean by that is, even if you don't work with children, even if you don't want children, there's something to be gained by immersing yourself in that energy that is more childlike or innocent or naive, or honoring your inner child, kind of going back to that kind of less constrictive, less edited, just kind of ability to be free and do things kind of effortlessly without overthinking things or being self-critical. That's sort of what I mean by that. Teacher and student is definitely coming into play here. I'm hearing the word shaman. So obviously that won't apply to everyone, right? Only take what serves you. But some of you may be finding yourself more interested in spirituality at this time. That would be an excellent use of your Scorpio energy this month, which everybody has available to them, right? When we're in that season of Scorpio, meaning the sun is traveling through Scorpio. You may connect with a friend who becomes some sort of mentor in all things spiritual or occult or possibly psychology. That may be an interest of yours that you're just reading up on more. Some of you may take a class just for hobby, for quote unquote sport, just because you're interested in something. I think that's something you would really enjoy. And for some of you, no matter what the topic or subject is, if you're enrolling in some sort of class, or some pursuit of education to add to your your skill set, your tools, your knowledge base, some of you very quickly excel in this field and get recognition quite quickly from someone who is has more experience. So it's almost like you stand out amongst the rest very quickly of being someone who's almost like a natural. I just heard the word homeopath too. Interesting. So possibly a healer of some kind. And I think this takes you by surprise because it's something that you were only casually pursuing or had a mild interest in. It's sort of like, you read one book and then you're hooked. There could be this scorpionic obsession of like, oh my gosh, I love this. And where has this thing been all my life? And so it's because you're immersing yourself in it and you throw yourself into this topic or whatever it is, this path, we'll call it that. Very quickly you're recognized by someone and it sort of feels like a sign from the universe that you're on the right track, you're on the right path. There's some sort of small reward or recognition that comes to you that I think is meant to inspire you to continue down this path. It's like you've achieved a little milestone far earlier than you would have anticipated or expected, and you're like, all right, maybe this is a good fit for me. Maybe I am meant to discover more about this, particularly in regards to educational matters. And that might be something involving, like beauty or creativity. That's only for a select few of you. But anyway, that is what it is. Let's see. Nurturing the seeds. If you want optimal growth, that seems like an optimal message. But that includes your passions, your hobbies. That includes, your children. That includes your sex life, your intimate romantic partnerships. I think money is challenging, but it's nothing that you can't overcome. There's slight obstacles with money this month, which I know isn't fun to hear, right? But forewarned is forearmed. So watch your unnecessary spending. More money may be going to children too, or possibly your partner may require. If you have a partner, it may require more money going to, medical bills or their own education or something about that. It's like the opposite of streams of income. It's like there's more money going out in different directions that weren't necessarily anticipated. Yes and no, though. I don't think it comes as a total shock, but it's like something that wasn't prevalent in your life previously all of a sudden is costing you a little bit more. So just be aware of that. Yeah, especially with your partner. Or possibly if you're helping your family out, a sibling, something like that. They may ask to borrow money from you or dip into sort of some mutual shared account or whatever. And the thing is, I think you're taking it graciously. I don't see you putting up a huge fight, and I'm not really getting the indication that you need to or should. I think there's an understanding between you guys or whoever this is. That this person is strapped for cash. They're kind of, I don't want to say dire straits. That sounds too extreme, but I think you're very willing to lend them money even though you don't have a ton. So just be cautious with that, right? Be careful. Don't put yourself in a tricky spot so that you have to suffer through it. But again, I am getting this idea that there will be a turning of the table, and money is going to come back in. There's just a short period of like, ooh, we're a little tight here. We're, you know, what do you call it? You got to tighten the belt, so to say. All right, let's see. So then you have 7 of Fire. So some sort of backlash or feeling accused or feeling attacked at work. I don't know what that's oh, okay. So for some of you, it's not a bad thing. For some of you, it seems okay. I'm gonna take that back for most of you. If you are in some sort of educational setting where there is that connection between you and a teacher or you and a professor or a mentor, and you are in like a social class setting where there's a larger dynamic here, there may be a little bit of resentment or jealousy because you excel through the class so much quicker than everyone else. So it may feel a little bit isolating, like, I don't, you know, it's not that you're sucking up or trying to be different. You just kind of, you are separate among the rest. And so you may feel a little bit of resentment or jealousy from other students. Obviously, that's not for everyone. That could also relate in a work dynamic as well. It could be that you get the promotion and you're feeling kind of that, those eyes on you, or that jealousy maybe of those around you who wanted the promotion and didn't get it. Honestly, just mind your business, nose to the grindstone. Other people's opinions of you are exactly that, and it's none of your business. How people feel about you is very much a reflection of them and not of you, so just bear that in mind. And, you know, Aquarius, you're not typically one who's, you know, out to win the popularity contest. I think most of you are going to be like, well, it is what it is, right? And just move on. But I wouldn't be surprised if you did feel a little bit of, I don't know if animosity is the right term, but a little bit of like coldness, you know, when you kind of excel in something that other people are looking to excel from. What's interesting is that the student becomes the teacher here. So for a lot of you, there's this dynamic of the people that you're feeling a little bit of icy vibes, eventually they're going to come to you and be like, hey, can you help me? So it's very interesting. Like there's definitely some power dynamics. And honestly, this energy feels very scorpionic. So just know that whether this message brings you happiness or dread, and I'm not aiming for dread, but understandably, you may be feeling some type of way. Know that it's a season, right? It's a season of your life. It's like a month. There where people are kind of in this power play dynamic, this all or nothing extreme, you know, win with everything you got, that type of energy. So when other people are seeing you win, they feel some type of way about it. And again, it has nothing to do with you personally. It has to do with their own emotions and not necessarily operating from like an emotionally intelligent way, right? Because the thing is, you're going to be an asset to them. If they can go to you for help or guidance or advice, you know, hopefully they don't do anything that puts them at a disadvantage where you're like, you know what, I am not going to help you because you weren't kind to me or whatever. Even so, though, I see you being the bigger person, and I see you being very generous with your time, your energy, your skills, and your talents. Because it's just something you're good at. It's like you have a knack for it. All right. Others of you, it feels like there's actually a lot of people who are wanting to connect with you romantically, or there could be a lot of flirtation, particularly a Sagittarius. I see them zooming in on you and wanting to, confess feelings or ask you out. Something to do with water too, especially someone who's Scorpio, Sag, cusp sign. So let's see, when would that be? Kind of mid-November-ish or late November-ish, like the 20, yeah, I don't know. Signs usually change over around the 21st, the 22nd, the 23rd of each month. So someone whose birthday maybe falls between like, you know, those dates in November. I just see someone who has either a lot of Sag or Scorpio placements, but they're both. There's like fire and water playing there. Anyway, I don't know why I'm harping on that. That also could be a timestamp too of when some sort of proposal comes to you in terms of connecting with someone on a dating app, or if you are dating someone, perhaps they have a conversation where they want to be more exclusive or bring things to the next level. There could be sort of this, I'm hearing the word ignite. There could be more passion and sexuality brought into a relationship if that hasn't been so much the focus up until then. But with the Ace of Cups, there's definitely newness in terms of a romantic relationship. And then you have the 10 of Earth, which I actually really like. I see your friends helping you out a lot, and it's possible you could even make a romantic connection through a group of friends. And it feels like something propels you forward very fast. So it could be that a relationship starts, and like, I don't use this term lightly, because I think it can be dangerous, but I do sort of get the idea of falling in love very hard, like very much like love at first sight vibes. I absolutely get that here, and that's not a message I share frequently because I just don't see it that often. But I do see it here for you, Aquarius, and you know, it could very well be you, but it could also be a partner or a potential partner, right? Someone who's in your network, in your circle, who develops feelings for you very fast and very quick. Again, Scorpio, Sagittarius, maybe even Capricorn is presenting here. You do have some very strong cards. You know, you have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Water. You have the Ten of Earth, which I always consider, it's frequently a card of good money. It's frequently a card of family, legacy, you know, your established history and your place in the world, and that sort of growing at a, I'll say, consistent, steady level. It's sort of, I'm hearing the word like monuments, like building a monument, like making the history books with someone in terms of love and romance. And then you have the Four of Earth. All right. So here's the thing. And this can go vice versa. So whoever you are, there's two energies speaking here. So one person is trying to play it a little bit more cool, a little bit more aloof. That sounds like you, Aquarius, but I'm also not trying to like pigeonhole you to that, right? You might be the person who's like desperately fallen in love and you're just like, oh my God, this is my person. I want to be with them all the time. It's possible that's you, especially if you have strong Pisces placements. Others of you, you're kind of on the opposite end of, like, you're the receiver of this attention and this energy, and it feels very nice, and I think you're kind of basking in it. I think you're interested in this person, but you seem to be a little bit more, I don't know, apprehensive, suspicious. Those seem a little bit too strong of a word. A little bit more like, let's say curious, you know, intrigued. Like, all right, I'll see what they have to offer, but I'm not going to rush into anything. But I think if we peel back the layers, you are that actually very invested in this relationship, or will become so, to the point where if this person starts to peel back or take back the attention that they're giving to you, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, what's it? Like, you don't like that. Like, if they change their desire, if they change the direction of their affection to something or someone else, you're kind of like, hey, wait a minute. So it's almost like that's a sign where you're like, ooh, I think I'm starting to catch feelings for them. Like, and so that may happen very briefly. And if it does, that's just simply a sign to you that you're not being clear and direct with this person if you are interested. Because, and I don't mean to offend here, but there is something all about like loving, it's not the thrill of the chase because it's you who's being chased, but there's a love of this attention where it's just like you feel like you're in a more powerful position where it's like this person is catering to you and you know, sending you flirty texts and this and that or whatever, you know, romancing you, whining and dining you. And it's easy to just sit there and be like, thank you, this is lovely. But you do kind of have to reciprocate that energy in some way so this person knows you're interested. And I don't think you're doing it intentionally, but then this person, I don't know, I sense a period of time where this person gets kind of confused, like, am I overdoing it? Am I overwhelming them? Is this too much? Do they even like me? So they may pull back on that attention, and then you're kind of like, wait a minute, hey, where did you go? But the thing is, you know, fixable, very, very fixable. And really, I don't see them going off to pursue someone else in the long term. If anything, there may be an opportunity for travel that arises for them, likely to do with family or their work. And so I don't know if they go cold on you. I don't necessarily, well, maybe for a weird period of time they do. But I do think they come back and return, and like, there was never any competition there. Not any real competition. I mean, for your affection. It's like they kind of were pacing themselves out, thinking that maybe they intimidated you or they came on too strong. And so they're kind of like, all right, maybe I need to pull back a little bit. But then I think you're going to greet them with open arms again and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, so let's make plans to go out again. And then, yeah, all will be settled. All will be relieved, or however you want to say it. I definitely see someone giving you all the time of day, just being very just like, oh my God, Aquarius is my person and I really, really like them. There is a Gemini floating around here somewhere, possibly a Taurus as well. We've already said the water signs, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. We mentioned Capricorn and we mentioned Sagittarius. So, for those thinking, boy, this could be any sign. You're right. There's a lot of signs coming through. And then we have the King of Air too. So, frequently I associate that with Aquarius, but it could be an air sign as well. So pretty much all the signs are showing up. So I can't, that's not really helpful because it's not going to eliminate too many for you, but yeah, this looks good, Aquarius. Any other messages I need to share with them? Let's see. Ooh, the Nine of Cups. All right, the Nine of Water, wish fulfillment. So that's a good way to end your reading, I think. Things are in alignment. You're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. It's not to say there aren't challenges and struggles for you right now, but the universe is guiding you. I think they are looking down, whatever you believe in, source, God, spirit, universe. They're looking down on you, and you've not been forgotten. Far from that, exactly. I feel like there's work on your manifestations, or I think you already have. Focus time on your manifestations and remind yourself of all that's good and all that you do have. Practice gratitude and also all that you want to achieve and accomplish, because I think wish fulfillment, whatever that means to you, it is coming in for you a lot sooner than you realize, particularly in the area of love. All right, Aquarius, thanks for joining me here today. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye.